If ChatGPT still sounds like a careful corporate intern, no matter what you type, it's not your prompts, it's your settings. Most people are stuck in what I call corporate safe mode and don't even know it. You've probably tried rephrasing your request 5 different ways, thinking you're the problem. But the real issue is sitting in your settings, quietly telling ChatGPT to play it safe, stay generic, and never actually learn who you are. In this video, I'm going to show you the 3 invisible walls inside ChatGPT that keep you locked in safe mode, and more importantly, why each one matters so you can understand what needs to change. There are 3 invisible walls inside your ChatGPT settings, and I want to name them so you can see exactly where you're getting blocked. Wall number 1, privacy, whether ChatGPT is allowed to learn from you at all. Wall number 2, context, whether it actually knows who you are and what you do. Wall number 3, output, whether it's allowed to talk like a real teammate instead of a policy document. Now, I'm not going to do a click-by-click walkthrough of every menu, and there's a reason. If I only show you where to click, you'll copy it for that one session, but you won't really understand why it matters. 6 months from now, you'll reset something or switch tools, and you'll be right back in generic mode. Instead, I want you to understand what each wall does and why it's blocking you. Once you see that clearly, changing the settings becomes almost obvious, whether you're in ChatGPT today or some other AI tool tomorrow. Let's start with the first wall. Wall number 1, privacy. Most people leave their privacy setting in don't learn from me mode without realizing what they're giving up. Here's the mistake. You think, I don't want my data sold or used for training, so I'll lock everything down. That instinct makes sense. But here's what actually happens. ChatGPT treats every conversation like a first date. It never remembers your patterns. It never notices that you always want short answers, that you work in healthcare, or that you hate fluffy language. Every new chat is a reset to 0. The result? You spend your time re-explaining yourself instead of getting work done. You repeat the same instructions over and over. And ChatGPT keeps giving you one-size-fits-all answers because it literally has no memory of what matters to you. Once this wall is configured the right way for you, and I'm not talking about giving up all your privacy, I'm talking about giving it just enough room to learn your patterns. It can start to remember how you like things. Not to sell your data, not to broadcast your secrets, but to remember that you prefer bullet points, or that you're in finance, or that you always ask for real-world examples. When privacy is set thoughtfully, your default replies start sounding like they came from someone who's been on your team for weeks, not someone you just met. That's wall number 1. Wall number 2 is context. And this is where most people accidentally hide the information AI needs to actually be useful. The mistake is simple. You leave the who you are part blank, or you write something so generic it might as well be blank. You think, I don't know what to put there, so you skip it. To ChatGPT, that means you're a random stranger. It has no idea what your job is, who you serve, or what success looks like for you. So, it defaults to advice that could apply to anyone. Let me show you what that costs you. Imagine you're a content creator in the finance space asking for help writing an email. With no context, you get, write an engaging email about your new product. Use a hook, build curiosity, and include a clear call to action. Technically correct. Completely generic. It doesn't know your audience hates hype. It doesn't know your tone is skeptical and data-driven. So it gives you something that sounds like every marketing blog post on the internet. Now imagine the AI actually knows 3 things. You write for a finance audience. Your brand voice is direct and skeptical. Your readers hate fluffy marketing language. Suddenly, The advice shifts from email best practices to how you should write emails for your specific people. That's the power of context. When ChatGPT knows who you are, what you do, and who you serve, it stops guessing. Every answer is filtered through your world. You're not fighting the tool anymore, you're directing it. The moment you fill in context properly, your answers stop feeling like a textbook and start feeling like a conversation with someone who understands your situation. Wall number 3 is output, how ChatGPT is allowed to talk to you. The mistake here is leaving it on default. Default means corporate safe mode, formal, careful, hedged. It says things like, "It could be argued that," or "one might consider," even when you just want a straight answer. Why? Because the default tone is designed not to offend anyone. It's the AI version of a corporate memo, safe, neutral, and a little lifeless. Here's the cost. The answer might be technically correct, but if the tone doesn't match how you think and work, you still have friction. If you're direct and practical, but the AI sounds like a risk-averse lawyer, you waste mental energy translating what it said into what you actually needed. When output is set intentionally, when you tell it, "Talk to me like a clear, direct co-worker," or explain things like you're talking to a busy manager who hates fluff, everything changes. You're not asking it to be reckless or unprofessional. You're asking it to match your style so that every response feels usable the moment you read it. When this wall is set up correctly, your AI stops sounding like a policy document and starts sounding like a teammate who understands how you like to work. Let's pull this together. Most people think their AI results are bad because their prompts aren't clever enough. But under the hood, 3 invisible walls are doing most of the damage. Privacy, whether it can learn your patterns. Context, whether it actually knows who you are. Output, whether it's allowed to sound like you. Leave all 3 on default, and you're driving a Ferrari in first gear. No matter how hard you press the gas, no matter how many better prompts you try, you're still stuck in corporate safe mode. The important thing is, this is not a ChatGPT is broken problem. This is a setup problem, and the setup is fixable. Now, if you want to skip the trial and error and get the exact copy-paste language I use for these 3 walls, the phrases that tell your AI who you are, how you think, and what good looks like in your world. That's what I put into my AI co-partner setup guide. That's the implementation piece. But even if you never touch the guide, I want you to walk away from this video knowing these 3 walls exist and understanding why they're blocking you. Because once you see the real problem, you stop blaming your prompts and start fixing your setup. If this helped you see your AI differently, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next video. We're going to look at what happens when these walls are actually set up right, and how that can cut hours off your week without you turning into a prompt engineer. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.